Hey folks, welcome to the smackdown between two of arguably the best Android tablets of 2013. On the left, the new Nexus 7, and on the right, the Samsung Galaxy Tab 3 7.0. Now I can tell you right off the bat, if you're in the market for a 7-inch tablet and you've narrowed your choices down to one of these two tablets, picking one might not be so easy. So I'm here to tell you the pros and cons to both as best as I know, so we can get right into it. Now on paper, the Nexus 7 beats the Tab 3 in specs hands down, with the 16GB model of the Nexus 7 starting at $229 versus the $199 price tag for the 8GB Tab 3. Basically, the processor is faster on the Nexus 7, has more RAM, the display and cameras are much better. And to a lot of people, these specs alone would be reason enough to fork out the extra $30 for the Nexus 7. But I've got 3 practical reasons why the Tab 3 might be a pretty good choice for some of you. Starting with the first and most trivial, and that is aesthetics. The Tab just looks better. Now I know that's subjective and again very trivial, but you can't help but notice between the very plain Nexus and this golden brown Tab 3 how shiny it is. It's just a lot more pleasing to the eye. It's almost even more elegant, which is kind of surprising because everyone knows that any Galaxy anything from Samsung usually has a cheap plasticky feel, but this new brown golden color just kind of looks more classy. By the way, it's worth noting that while both tablets seem to be about the same width and fit comfortably in one hand, the Nexus 7 is a bit taller. I guess that's a good thing if you have really huge, gigantic, fat thumbs. It'll make it easier for you to hold the tablet while it's in horizontal view. Although it's not much harder doing it on the Tab 3. Oops. Well, that just happened because there's a back button there. There is no back button on the Nexus. Anyway, reason number 2 you may want to consider the Galaxy Tab is that it has an infrared port. That little black looking hole right there. That is pretty cool because it serves as a remote control to your television and even cable box. You just open up the smart remote app that comes already loaded on the Tab and set it up. Choose your country, US of A. Nice. It'll focus. Yes. Enter your postal zip code. Let's see. And we have dish. Have a DVR. Yes. Dish. And okay. And let's see. And from there, you basically just use the tablet as a remote control, scrolling through your channel guide and things like that. It's very cool, very slick, pretty cool if I do say so myself. And finally, the biggest feature in my opinion that the Tab 3 has that the Nexus 7 does not is a micro SD card slot. The Tab 3 only comes with 8 gigs of onboard storage, but the fact that you can put one of these bad boys in just makes it all the better. This might be a big deal for some of you, as I know it certainly is for me. I have tons of music, tons of videos that far exceed the 64GB capacity on one memory card. So I swapped the stuff out. We live in the mobile age. I like the idea that I can swap out the memory cards and not be limited basically with the amount of stuff that I can carry with me. But of course, there is no denying the Nexus 7 and all of its power. That and the fact that its operating system is pure, untampered with Android straight from Google makes for a much better user experience. It's much more smooth, much more fluid. You'll get your updates directly from Google on time, unlike Samsung and other manufacturers who take forever to update their operating system. And of course, the screen on the Nexus 7 is probably one of the best on any tablet out there today. Though this video does no justice for differentiating between the two, I'm very sure if you went and saw this in person for yourself, you would agree that the Nexus 7 screen is just amazing. As well as the camera. The images taken on the Nexus versus the Tab 3 are much more crisp, much more sharp. You can even tell from these pictures that the Nexus 7 field of view is much wider than the Tab 3. So that's it, folks. And you're probably going to think that I'm not much help, because if you were to ask me which I would pick over the other, I have no idea. But like I said in the beginning, this is not an easy choice. It really will come down to preference between these two. Really, I'm more curious to hear what you would pick between these two. Feel free to leave a comment saying which one and why, and thanks for watching.